What is happening, everybody, and welcome to the Business of Strength podcast. I'll be your host today, Dan Goodman. And if you hear blasting tunes in the background, it's because it is December 22nd and people in the gym are getting after it in anticipation of some big eating and celebrating over the holiday and Christmas weekend. So today I have a short and sweet episode. And I think the unique part, if you're a brand new listener to the show, the unique part about this show is that, hey, we're in the mix as gym owners and managers that are running and operating currently Varsity House Gym, the headquarters, the original, and we've in the last couple of years branched out and opened a personal training branch of Varsity House, which is called Varsity House Personal Training, where we do all small group training. The first location is Ridgewood, New Jersey, and early 24, I'm excited to say that we will be opening the second VHPT in Oradell, New Jersey. So super excited about that. We've got our hands full. We are charging hard towards the end of the year. A lot of meetings, a lot of planning, a lot of excitement, all the good things. And, something that captured my attention is in 2023, we made a very pointed effort that everybody on our team would have a focused goal. Some of them were short term. Some of them were like mid-range goal. Let's call it a quarter. Like the short-term goal could be a month. Mid-range goal would be 3 to 6 months. And then obviously we all had year-end goals. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because a lot of the one-on-one conversations that I'm having with other gym owners and general managers pertain to year-end reviews. And they're not sure what to review people on. And most of the reviews are based on feelings. And should there be a component of feeling with a review? Sure. Some of it is going to be arbitrary on the core values of your business or their day-to-day attitude. But some of it has to be tangible, that you can really hang your hat on and you can review and say, hey, this was the short-term goal we had for you. This was a middle of the pack goal for you that we thought would take 3 to 6 months to achieve. That could be a certification. That could be public speaking to your team. That could be a membership goal with a certain section of your business. And obviously year-end goals, like what are we going to accomplish together, and what are you going to really spearhead in this year? And it's nice to be able to review that as that person's manager and see the fulfillment on their face, like when it's like, wow, like I did that. Because a lot of times people forget what gets accomplished, and you have to help remind and celebrate some of the gains that have been made. It's similar in the gym. It's like if you never highlight a PR for a client, like that's not good. If you never highlight an attendance achievement, you should be. And there should be highlights and check marks. Everything we do for the client, we need to be doing for the team members. So you see, people holding up these check-in boards, and, I hit my first, 225-pound bench board, or I'm athlete of the month or client of the month or whatever it is. And then nothing happens on the employee or team side. And I've said on the show a lot, and I say it in our immersions, is that my number one focus now at this stage in our business is our team. My number one focus is our team, because if they're well taken care of, they'll be able to take care of our clients well. And that's what's enabled us to go from engaging 50 to 100 people effectively to be able to engage 500 plus people, because we've been able to hire people that have our said core values. And they all have consistent training and consistent celebration on short-term incentives or goals, mid-range incentives and goals, and year-end incentives and goals. And that's what keeps them focused. That's what keeps me focused. That's what anchors our conversations. this is, if you're listening to this, the show will come out, probably a couple days after Christmas. If you don't have those things in your business, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to make these, like the tracking process of this doesn't need to be ridiculous, but there has to be something that goes above and beyond the job that centralizes focus off the gym floor for, say, a personal trainer. Okay. And, I see that right now where, I'll speak just about Orangeburg because this is where I'm sitting right now shooting the episode with, club beats going on in the background. But we have a specific goal in Orangeburg this year where we had a goal number of memberships that was achieved in June. And it was designed to be a mid-range goal. The people that were participating in helping us get there, they all enjoyed a monetary, monetary gain or bonus, if you'd like to call it that. We then made a decision as a group to change the year-end incentive and increase that total and increase the incentive. We're 9 days away. And the people contributing, that contributing team is working their asses off trying to get there. And I was talking to Mike, who's our facility leader, and he's really the tip of the spear when it comes to going and achieving that goal. Because truthfully, I wasn't sure if it would even be within reach. And I think that pissed Mike off a little bit. I don't know if he'll listen to this, but I think it pissed him off a little bit. And I can see it has much more to do with the fulfillment of getting there than it has to do with the monetary achievement. And you'll see it's like there's two things that happen when you unlock a business or personal goal. You have this intrinsic like motivation that, hey, you want to be fulfilled. You want to be a winner. You want to be recognized as being able to do something hard. And you got it done when, maybe people didn't think you could do it against the odds, and really be able to hang your hat on a win. That feels good. Everybody wants to win. Don't let them fool you. And then obviously when you can pair that up with the positive monetary things that happen for winning organizations, it could be, obviously money. It could be an extra PTO day or two. It could be ascension in title. It could be ascension in responsibility. Fulfillment in the job and getting people really fired up about something and a group think and a group effort. And even if you don't have a group, even if it's one person that's working on it as a team member, it's like, it feels good to win. It feels good to cross something off your list. It feels good to go to your manager and say, hey, I fucking did this and I'm proud of it. And if you get somebody focused like that, more often than not, you're gonna find unused capacity in them. If you're managing a team of 5 or 10 or 15 people and you find 5% of unused capacity just by hanging a short-term, midterm, and long-term goal on their job and responsibilities, like it makes an exponential difference. And I look at what we've done in 2023 as a company in both gyms, and we've had a good year. And marketing tightened up, our sales system tightened up, the product has been really good. We've hired some awesome coaches, but at the end of the day, I think a huge component of it from like a leadership standpoint is that people are truly focused and accountable on certain said things that pertain to their specific jobs beyond just the coaching sessions, right? We're in the coaching business. We're going to be coaching, right? But our athlete coordinator who's kicking ass she's got a total number of athletes that we are trying to maintain in that program, and she's kicking ass, right? Like Our director of training is really focused on our attrition number. Our sales team's really focused on net gain of memberships every month, right? Our media team is really focused on the agreed upon number of leads we need per month. And they're focused on these goals and achieving these goals. And it's what will ultimately lead us to year-end revenue total or year-end profitability totals. And when those things are improving, everybody's happy, and we can celebrate and do the things that that companies like to do, which is pay out a quote unquote bonus. And I was watching one of my favorite movies with my wife, Dana, the other night. And it's Christmas Vacation with the Griswolds. And, the premise of the movie towards the end is like Clark doesn't get his bonus. And it's like a big surprise. And like, if you've seen the movie, you know what it's all about. And I really, I've taken a lot of the premise of what we're talking about here from a book titled Profit Matters. It's a great book, great read. And in that book, they really depict the difference between bonuses and incentives. Is that bonuses become an expectation. And the expectation is like, well, I did my job. I showed up to work. I did what you told me to do. And I've been here for 3 years. And we've always gotten a bonus, and it becomes an expectation. And when people don't get it, or it's less, or you haven't been keeping score on a short term or midterm, or you haven't been keeping score all year, and you get to the end of the year and it's just like you cut their quote unquote bonus in half, or they don't get it at all, like it could greatly impact somebody's life negatively. And then how do you think they're starting the next year of work? You're eroding that trust process. Whereas an incentive plan is something that should be measured frequently to let that person know if they're on track or off track. Where if there's like, in my head, I'm thinking like, if there's a meter, they know how much they have to go on the meter to unlock the full potential of the realized incentive plan. Now we have, certain tiers of it, so people know like it's not like all or nothing. But when we get to the year end, there's no surprise as to what is going to be paid out. This is an agreed upon total that people know it's in their contract, and it's just like, hey, this is what it's going to be this year. And if we do some incredible things, like your pay will be incredibly impacted in a positive way. If we struggle, it won't be. But hey, it's not going to be a surprise at year end. In like Griswold's, nobody's coming to no team members coming to kidnap me out of my house, knock on wood, right? Because there's no secrets about it. And the communication is very clear. And it also forces people to say, hey, look, you have an old business that, somebody's been a personal trainer for a long time. And they're like, hey, I come and do my 25 sessions. I'm always respectful to people. I take the trash out and clean up the turf after my session. I always arrive to my coach's meeting. It's like, all right, like that's great. But like after 18 months or 2 years or 3 years, we have to always revert back to the John Wooden quote of never mistake activity for achievement. If you're doing the same exact role that you did last year, and like the capacity in your sessions is similar, attrition is similar, roles and responsibilities are similar, like the pay should be similar, right? But if you're trying to make 10% more or 15% more, the roles and responsibilities have to increase. And for them to really understand how they can increase, like for somebody that I'm explaining right now, maybe that is just them being incentivized by a total number of members. Maybe that's them being incentivized by how many consults they're able to do in a week. Maybe that's them being incentivized by how many reach outs they do per quarter, and it's tracked in an Excel file, right? And it might seem like a lot of work when you look at it on a year total, but that's compounded over 365 days or, 250 work days. But if they do, 1 or 2 tasks that take 10 to 15 minutes or even an hour, it equates to an extra hour or 90 minutes a week. You're talking about the compounding interest effect. Like, hey, if they do that, let's say an hour a week extra of work, of focused work, at the end of the year, it's an extra 52 focused hours of work. And, you look at a team like in Orangeburg, there's 10 people here. That's hundreds of hours of focused work. In Ridgewood, there's, 2 full-time people there. That's an extra over 100 hours of focused work. And they're not doing it for nothing. They're doing it to be winners, right? They want to be fulfilled to achieve the goal and hand in that paper or that project and say, I did it. And I got an A on this project. It's the all-American effect. It's the recognition effect, right? And then obviously people enjoy the incentive that comes along with it, which is, money, PTO, ascension in the company and all those other things. But if you're somebody that is listening to this, you're like, man, I don't even know where to start. Start with simple ones. A short-term incentive could be, let's say it's you and 2 other coaches. Start the year with a referral goal. How many referrals are you going to get in the first quarter of the year? And hang a small monetary incentive on that. You could have how it pairs out for the full year. Say, hey, our expectation, we have 150 clients. Our expectation is that we're going to get 50 referrals in this upcoming year. And in quarter 1, we're going to get, we're going to start with 25 of them or 20 of them. It could be simple. It could be total members. It could be total revenue. It could be total number of consults in a month. Like, whatever numbers are important for you. It could be your attrition percentage if attrition's been a problem. That's what we've got. I've had a lot of conversations with people in the SYP group about how to make specific incentive plans for their gym, for their teams. If you're somebody that is just listen to this and it's just blowing your mind on the endless possibilities, it's because there's always different goals, right? There's always different metrics, but the metrics that matter the most, it's simple. It's revenue, profitability, attrition percentage, capacity percentage, total members, right? Like, how do we, and you can pare down from there. Total members could be based on referrals. It could be based on reactivations. And then in terms of attrition, what are the inputs we're doing to exceed the expectation for our customers? Revenue and profitability has a lot of focus to do on your finances and marketing, obviously. But if you don't know where to start with reading the book, Profit Matters. It's an excellent read on the differentiation between incentives and bonuses. Okay. Knowing the difference is critical. If you have a question about this episode or you want to jump on a call and help and need some help with reviewing your incentive plan, I'm happy to do it. Shoot me an email, dan@varsityhousegym.com, and we'll get a call scheduled, help you work through that. Our calendar of events is finished. The members of the mastermind group have seen it. We've got some awesome stuff. We have our 2-day immersions lined up. We will also be incorporating a specific personal trainer school for the new year, which is going to be specific for personal trainers and strength coach that work in other businesses on how to maximize their value in order to make more money and have more systems with themselves within another business. That's going to be awesome. Super excited about that. And we're going back to Arizona in September for the SYP annual retreat. We've got some amazing things lined up. We will be releasing that schedule the first week of January. And I look forward to seeing many of you in person. I love the in-person events. And if I don't speak to you before the new year, have a happy new year. Have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas. And here's to a happy, healthy, and strong year ahead. Thanks, everybody. Peace out.